But you could do it.
Yeah.
I have no doubt you could do the wedding business and make it successful. The question is, what's the actual cost?
Right.
Because it's not an infinite thing. You're not omnipresent like God to be able to go do them all at full capacity.
Yeah.
So by choosing to do the wedding venue, no matter how hard it is, it could be the easiest business ever. There's still like a sacrifice of time, money, resources, energy, all that. However much that is. It might be 5 hours a week. It might be 10. It might start as 10 and you realize it's turning into 25 because you're having to solve all these new problems you didn't know. And then so you got to look at like, what's the upside for this? So like to give a parallel example, when I decided to do social media, I looked at the upside. I was like, what's the upside of this? It's like, bro, the upside is unlimited.
Yeah.
You've seen what the upside, you have Grant Cardone, you've got all these guys, like that's the upside.
Yep.
And I was like, I'll never achieve that kind of upside just continuing to flip houses.
Right.
It's impossible. So I was like, all right, well, I am going to devote time, money, resources to this because I know what the upside is. And I do know that it will complement
the other one.
This. And it's not going to pay me right away. I understand that. I'm just going to go for it. And then obviously it's been worth it. And it will continue to be worth it. I'm not even close to like what it could continue to be. But my point with that is it was worth the gamble.
Yeah.
This wedding venue is not worth that. There's no upside. Like it is what it is. Yeah. You're just trying to pay for the building.
Well, tell me if my thinking's off then here, because this is the way that I kind of like work. My mind is weird. So what I do is I get myself in these really tough situations, and then that's when I get really innovative in order to figure them out. I'm like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself suffer by having this suck really bad, having to work crazy hours, and then what I'm going to do is then I'll let go of some stuff, and then it kind of makes me automate in different areas. Like that's literally what I did that's how the business kind of grew to where it is. I'm like, I'm in situations that I don't like, I'm not enjoying, and I'm about ready to give up. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just let this person make this decision? I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Okay. You sound just like my friend Brian Davila, who we all know of you both don't listen, and then you guys end up listening like years later or months later or whatever, right? So when we talked at the last WealthCon, remember you were like, dude, I'm just like kind of over this, like I'm burnt out, whatever.
Yeah.
And now you're like, yeah, this business is great, right?
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm all the way there. I'm not like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm more like,
it's better.
Okay, we found a way, to make it less stressful. I mean, dude, when you don't have the overhead and all that stuff of like, payments and all that stuff, it's less stressful.
Yeah. But you're still in the process of executing the plan we talked about.
Yeah.
It's not done yet.
Right.
But you have a clear plan of what you're working towards. And
yeah, exactly. The problem that I was stressing out about is solved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's my point. You just didn't have a clear plan of how to proceed.
Yep.
But that's kind of the point, right? It's like, if we're just talking money, clearly working on your wholesale business more and being more innovative there gets you to the next level, right? Because think about it. It's like, all right, right now you spend $30K. Let's just say you spent all that time and energy on figuring out how to build a sales team that could support $100K in spend, right? And then, you got your dispo team and everything else. But, you'd have the money to actually go spend it. You just know you don't have the back end right now to support that. So let's just play it out. You're like, all right, I need to go find me triple the sales team. I need to find triple the dispo. And we would be able to handle that, let's just say. How long do you think that would take you to go do?
To hire a sales team of that big in dispo? If it was just those two people.
Those were the only two things you had to work on.
Probably max of 3 months.
Okay. So for the next 3 months, you really just recruit hard, train, get people up to speed, ramp up your spend as you're doing this, right? Now that let's say they're not going to be as good because they're just starting out. They're not going to be as good as the existing team, but still good enough, right? Yeah. So all of a sudden now, let's say you're spending $100K, but now you're going to at least double your revenue. Maybe get, obviously the goal would be to get to triple. So it's like you just increase proportionally. And it's like, how much more money would that make you per month? And you said it should take you about 3 months.
Yeah. So it's interesting though, because I don't think about it necessarily just in money. I guess I do think about it in the sense of that would suck for me really bad on making that many decisions on the way that I have it structured. And so that's where I'm like, maybe I do have to get myself in situations like that to structure it differently, because I'm like, dude, that would suck for me. I'm underwriting every deal. I'm making decisions on every deal.